Cincinnati, Ohio is home to a number of incredible suburbs. And if you're trying to figure out where you should live in Cincinnati, Ohio, I know it can feel overwhelming. So in this video, I'm ranking the best suburbs around Cincinnati, and each of these suburbs gets its ranking based on the following: lifestyle, amenities and convenience, schools, and of course, real estate. Let's get into it. As always, my name is Evan, your friend in real estate here in Cincinnati, and this channel is all about moving to Cincinnati. So if you're thinking about a move, maybe you're just researching right now, I'd encourage you to subscribe so you don't miss a video. And if you've already decided on moving to Cincinnati, I would love to be the realtor that gets to help you make that move here to Cincinnati. All of my contact information is below. All right, coming in at number 4 is going to be some of the west side suburbs. Now, I'm going to group these together for the sake of time. That way we don't have a 30 or 40-minute long video. But we're going to be talking about, in particular, Delhi, Green Township, and also Cheviot. On the west side of Cincinnati, you're going to get more of the rolling hills, larger lots, a lot more of a traditional laid-back Midwest vibe. So if you're someone who's after that kind of a more country feel, for lack of a better word there, then this could definitely be an area that you should consider. And also with all three of these locations, you're gonna still be pretty close to the city. So you have that access without having to live in the city and worry about all the hustle and bustle that goes on during the day. And as for amenities, you do have a couple of shopping corridors on Glenway Avenue and the Delhi Pike as well. And you have plenty of access to a bunch of local restaurants and long-term, long-standing businesses. A couple restaurants I have to mention would be Roadhouse Restaurant and then also Incline Public House. Now, Incline Public House is actually it's located in East Price Hill. So it's not one of these locations that we're talking about specifically when talking about the west side suburbs, but it is a very short drive and it's definitely a place that you'd want to check out. You also have access to some pretty major parks like Mount Airy Forest. It has over 1,400 acres. There's all kinds of stuff to do for you and your friends or family. They have walking trails, biking trails, there's disc golf, and plenty of other stuff to do there, as well as Miami Whitewater Forest. So there's a golf course there, you can do paddle boarding, and of course they have trails as well. So if you're an outdoorsy type of person, then this side of town definitely gives you pretty quick access to green space and those outdoor things like walking, riding, biking, all that stuff. And the nice thing about these locations in particular is you're still only about 10 to 20 minutes from downtown Cincinnati. Now, of course, that is traffic dependent. And you're also pretty close to I-74 and I-75. Now, you don't really have an interstate running directly through a lot of the west side, so you will have to drive to get there, maybe 5 to 10 minutes depending on location. But that can also be a positive because depending on where you work or where you're traveling to, you might be able to make a commute without even hopping on the interstate at all. And if you're familiar with traffic in Cincinnati or any major city, that is a huge plus. So from somewhere like a Cheviot, for example, you can get to downtown and you don't even have to worry about hopping on the interstates. All right, now let's talk about the schools. So Cheviot is located in the Cincinnati Public Schools District. So Cincinnati Public Schools has a lot of different areas that encompasses it. And for more information on them, I would just encourage you to check out their website. But for Green Township and also Delhi, they will actually be located in some different school districts. Delhi and Green Township are located in Oak Hills School District, which is a very highly rated school district. In fact, it received a B+ rating on niche.com and it was also voted as the 7th best school district in all of Hamilton County. However, depending on the area of Green Township you're in, your address could also fall in the Northwest Local School District, so it's very important for any of the addresses in any area that you look at, make sure you verify that. You can always look up the address on the school district website or just give the school district a call. And of course, we have to talk about real estate. So this area is typically one of the most affordable areas when it comes to home prices in the entire Cincinnati area. You're typically going to find ranch homes and Cape Cod style homes in this area. Now, that's not to say there's not some 2-story homes but a lot of these homes are going to be a bit dated. So you'll find homes built from anywhere from probably the late 50s, early 60s, all the way up until 80s and 90s. And of course, when you have new construction homes as well, then obviously those are going to be even newer than that. Now, as a whole, the median home price is around 260,000, but let's break it down for each of these three areas. The average sold price of a home last year in Cheviot was $195,000. In Delhi, the average sold price last year was $284,000, and in Green Township, it was actually $345,000, which is actually above the average that we typically see throughout Cincinnati. However, the median was at 290,000. And I think the reason that we see a difference here is Green Township is home to a new construction community. Now it's been up and going for a little over a year now, so some people have moved in even though they have more space to build out. And so those home prices are going to be higher, and I think that's why we see a little bit of a skewed average for Green Township. So overall, if you're someone where a budget matters to you and you don't want to spend too much on a home, but you still want that close access to downtown, I think any of these west side suburbs would be a great option and one that you should definitely have on your list. All right, and for number 3, we're actually going to head north, and this one's going to be in Butler County. Now, when you think of Cincinnati, it's typically located in Hamilton County, but we're going to head up to Butler County and talk about Liberty Township and Westchester. Now, I've actually made videos on both of these areas pretty recently, so I'll make sure to link those. So I won't spend a ton of time on this one as much as I will the others, but it's definitely one that I couldn't leave out of the list. If you want convenience to literally everything, shopping, entertainment, dining, then these areas are going to have that. You're going to be near the Liberty Center. Tylersville Road is a common road that has a lot of different commercial spaces. You also have Top Golf in Westchester. You're about a 10-minute drive or less to the Cincinnati Premium Outlets, which has a ton of different stores. So there's all kinds of entertainment, shopping, and dining here. You've also got direct access to I-75 and I-275, and you're going to be about, Google Maps might tell you 25 to 30 minutes from downtown. I would say to add maybe 5 to 10 minutes to that, especially if you're leaving during a peak time when traffic is at its busiest, then really you should probably add another 20-25 minutes to get downtown. However, in these areas, there are some major employers that have headquarters and distribution centers here. Procter & Gamble is just one of those. So there's a decent chance that you can find a job in the area of Liberty Township or Westchester without having to make a commute all the way to downtown. As for the lifestyle here, think HOA neighborhoods, suburban communities where they might have a community center with a pool. That's your typical community here, especially in Liberty Township, also in Westchester. These areas are very built out and modern. Now, there are definitely a lot of homes that were built in the 90s and early 2000s as well, but it's not as common to find homes in the 60s and 70s in these areas. As for schools, most of Liberty Township and Westchester are going to be located in the Lakota Local School District. Now, this school district is one of the largest in the entire state of Ohio. It's always consistently highly rated. In fact, according to niche.com, it has an A+ rating, and it's rated as the #1 school district in Butler County. Now, one caveat to this is certain parts of Liberty Township might be located in the Monroe School District. So again, here is my advice to just make sure you verify which school district your address is in. Now, as for real estate, I already hit on this a little bit when I told you about the types of homes, the new construction, how old they are, but let's talk price. Now, Butler County actually splits Westchester into two because of the size of it, so we'll use that when we talk about home prices. So for East Westchester, the average sale price was $465,000 last year. The West Side saw an average sale price of $522,000. Liberty Township actually came in at the exact same average, $522,000. However, the median price, sold price for Liberty last year was a little bit lower at $487,000. Again, Liberty does have quite a bit of new construction, so that could be the reason for the skew in the average there. All right, I can't wait to talk about the next two suburbs, but before we do, I just want to say if you're watching and you have any questions about your move, about just doing research on the possibility of moving, I would love to help you guys. I get calls and texts from you guys all the time and I love it. So if you're thinking about a move to Cincinnati, don't do it alone. It doesn't have to be me, but I would love to help you. All of my contact information is down below in the description, and I look forward to hearing from you. All right, we're keeping it up north with number 2, and that's going to be Blue Ash and also Mason. Now, these are two extremely popular areas with relocators, and we're going to start with Mason. Now, Mason consistently ranks as one of the top places to live, and a lot of that has to do with the strong schools. It has a lot of master plan communities, and of course, it has plenty of access to shopping and dining. Mason is also home to Kings Island, Great Wolf Lodge, and the Linder Family Tennis Center, which host a professional tennis tournament every year. So you definitely will not run out of things to do or restaurants to try here in Mason. Now, as for Blue Ash is a little more of a mature feel. It's more established and a little bit older. It's definitely still a very popular area and it's definitely growing as well, but it's a little more established. One of the best amenities that Blue Ash has to offer, in my opinion, is Summit Park. It's about a little over 120-acre park, I believe. There's a huge playground area for kids. There's a walking path along the whole park. There's a kind of I guess you could call it a sky deck or a tower where you can look out and see out, and on a clear day, you can almost see downtown Cincinnati. Along with that, there's been a lot of development in that area. They have apartment buildings, but also some commercial spaces with some restaurants like Sugar and Spice, which is a diner style restaurant. There's breweries like Higher Gravity, and there's also some new construction single family homes and condos in the area as well. Now for both of these areas, it's pretty similar to what Liberty Township and Westchester have to offer in terms of access, quick access to I-75, I-275, and also Blue Ash has a ton of office parks and business parks. So that is really what a lot of the growth that Blue Ash has seen is contributed to, as there's a bunch of employers stationed in Blue Ash. Now, as for schools, Mason is located in the Mason City Schools District. It's always highly rated. In fact, it's rated as the #2 best school district in all of Ohio, according to niche.com. And Blue Ash is located in the Sycamore Community School District, which is also highly rated. Both of them received an A+ rating on niche.com. Now, I already touched on real estate a little bit. For Mason, you can expect to see a lot of larger homes, a lot of planned communities and HOA style communities. And then also, you can expect a higher price point. The average price of the sold home in Mason last year was $648,000, so well above the typical average that we see for Cincinnati. As for Blue Ash, like I mentioned earlier, it is a little bit of an more established area, so the homes are sometimes a little bit older. So a lot of these homes are ranch style or mid-century style homes that have been renovated a little bit. Now there are some new luxury build types of homes popping up here and there. It's not necessarily a whole community, but it'll be a developer who buys space to put 1 or 2 homes there and sells them as kind of a one-off thing. The average sold price of a home in Blue Ash last year was $645,000, so pretty similar to what you'll see in Mason as well. All right, and finally for number 1, we're gonna head east. And in particular, I want to cover Anderson Township and also Loveland. The east side really offers a good blend of nature, lifestyle. You have a pretty short commute to downtown, pretty highly rated schools across the board, and so that's why I put these at number 1. So let's start with Loveland. Loveland is known for its historic downtown area, and in particular, there is something called the Little Miami Scenic Trail, and the Little Miami River actually runs through that downtown Loveland area. So a lot of people will go and take I don't want to call it a tour because you're not with a tour guide, but you can rent kayaks or inner tubes, all these things, and you can float down the Little Miami River and you can stop halfway in Loveland. You can get a bite to eat, maybe a beer or two, and then you can hop back on and finish your route. And the scenic trail is also very popular for bikers and walkers and runners and all the sorts. The awesome thing about Loveland, in my opinion, is it really feels like a small town. Like when you enter Loveland, it kind of feels a little bit separated from the city, but again, you still have pretty quick access to the city. Now, Anderson Township, it's also known for its great schools. It's also known for a lot of larger lots and more wooded lots with mature trees as well. And I would also say the home styles vary a little bit between the two, which we'll talk about in just a second. So as for the lifestyle, if you're after a more established neighborhood, you want quick access to nature like the Little Miami Scenic Trail, and there's also some golf courses around there as well, then this could be a great area for you, as these areas definitely have a strong resale value. Now, Loveland is served by the Loveland City Schools District, which is one of the top districts in the city, and Anderson is actually in the Forest Hills School District, again, one of the top districts in the city. I know I've said that for almost all of these places, but again, I laid out the criteria in the beginning, and schools are a big reason why somebody chooses to move or not to move to a certain area. Now, as for the types of homes and the numbers and all of that stuff, a lot of these homes were kind of built in the 70s to 90s, and a lot of them are going to be more updated two-story style homes. Now, you do have some newer homes, newer built homes, especially in the Anderson Township area, and there's even some subdivisions within Anderson Township where it's pretty much all newer homes. And I will say price points vary pretty drastically here, not only between the two, but also especially just in Anderson Township. There's pockets where you're looking at $1 million plus homes on the entire street, and then other areas where it's a little bit less. So for Loveland, last year the average sold price of a home was $417,000. I will say the median, it only came in at $386,000, so a little bit of a difference there. And for Anderson, the average was $467,000, but the median was $398,000. Again, you do have those pockets of Anderson where there's much larger, newer homes, so that's probably the reason for that difference there. So the truth is, there's really no one-size-fits-all suburb in Cincinnati. If you want affordability, well, the west side offers a lot of that. If you want new construction and convenience, well then looking north could be a good option for you. And if you want nature, some historic charm, and balance, then the east side does have areas that offer that. So if you're still trying to figure out which suburb fits you best here in Cincinnati, then I would love to help you. So whether you're looking to make a move in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, it's never too early to reach out or too late. So all of my information will be down below. I love getting to hear from you guys. I get to talk to you guys about every single day, and I love it. So please don't hesitate to reach out. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, until next time.